here's a news that you won't hear about. As foreign diplomats visited the West Bank, the Israel military fired warning shot and sent them into a panic. Greetings, and salutations to all nations. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know it's your favorite Jamaican. It's Rastafari Soldier here on Deeprootstv. Thank you for tuning into the Rastaman channel. If it's your first time tuning in, hit that red subscribe button. Yeah, build up the Rastaman channel. As the Israeli military fired warning shots in the air, it sent foreign diplomats running. Ladies and gentlemen, as these foreign diplomats went to the West Bank to see how the war was going on, delegates from more than 20 countries, including the United Kingdom, France, Canada, and others, were on official mission to see the humanitarian situation around the camps there, according to the Palestinian authorities. Minister of Foreign Affairs, which called the incident a deliberate and unlawful act. Videos from the incident show Israeli soldiers firing towards the delegation as it backed away from the gates, blocking the road. At least 7 shots can be heard in the video. One member of the delegation cautioned the group, be close to the wall as they walk away from the scene. Then people, you have Canadian, European, English, and even Irish delegates visiting the West Bank. This is not Gaza, you know. The West Bank. And they are coming under fire by the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. The ministry hold the Israel-occupied government full and direct responsible for the criminal assault and affirms that such act will not pass without accountability, the Palestinian Authorities Minister of Foreign Affairs said in a statement. The Israeli defense said that a visit to the camp, the site of major ongoing military operation that has destroyed more than 100 buildings and impacted thousands of families, was coordinated in advance. The military said that the launch an initial investigation once it became clear that the group was a diplomatic delegate. The delegation deviated from the approved route and entered an area where they were not authorized to be, the military said in a statement Wednesday. The IDF operating in the area fired a warning shot to distance them away. The IDF said it will reach out to the delegates about the findings of the initial injuries and regrets the inconvenience caused. Imagine this now, people. Imagine delegates are visiting the West Bank to see how the humanitarian work is going on, and the Israeli Defense Force fired to make sure that they don't deviate. So they don't want diplomats, they don't want journalists, they don't want any kind of pushback to what's going on the Gaza Strip or the West Bank. As Ronald Frederick, the director of the United Nations Relief and Workers Agent in the West Bank, refuted the Israeli military version of events, saying that it was explanation do not fully capture the severity of today's event. This incident is a stark reminder of the lack of use of excessive force routinely deployed by Israeli security force in the West Bank, often with lethal consequences, Frederick said. This raised serious concern over the way rules of engagement are applied to unarmed civilians. So right now it seems like the military, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force has gone rogue, because not only are they unaliving many Palestinian children, women, civilians that's not involved in its said war, it is now using scare tactic to make sure officials don't visit the area to get a first source account of what's going on. They're now intimidating officials and threatening them by firing either warning shots, which is going to scare any official, because they know that these officials are there because the official says these meetings were coordinated. So this is just another bullying tactic to make sure that no first-hand source, no real account from a Western country or Western diplomats reach back to the Western world. Because it's obvious there's no media coverage, no international media coverage. Over 200 media personnel has been unalive in the war. The most that has been recorded in any war. More human rights and humanitarian persons, and the world is sitting back and watching what's going on. And it's appalling and a shame and embarrassing, the lack of humanity and care for the people that are of Palestinian heritage. It's a shame that people would cower under the smallest of pebble than to muster the testicle fortitude or the moral fortitude to speak out against this and say this is wrong. It's a shame that the so-called government of Israel has been doing this to the innocent civilians. Yes, you have the right to defend yourself, but when do defense becomes bullying? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rastafari Soldier. You have Deeprootstv reporting live in the studio that foreign diplomats that visited the West Bank on a inspection or a observatory tour to see how the humanitarian missions are going in the West Bank, not on the Gaza Strip, came under fire by the IDF. Imagine this. I'm Rastafari Soldier here of Deeprootstv. Leave your comment on this one, ladies and gentlemen. What can we do at this point when you have Goliath doing this to David? When you have this tyrannic government taking advantage of the poor? Leave your comment on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Are there no humanity left on planet Earth? And they say they are the most moral army.